Estado de Zacatecas, como te recuerdo por donde yo voy.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. This is your host Diana.
And this is your co-host Cyntia.
Hermana, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You know what, Hermana, today, I was staging my house, chilling, doing my little ritual for my Sundays or my weekends. And you text me and you're like, let's record.
Yeah, I was like, no, we need to do this. I have so much in my head and I need to let it out before your saging comes into my house.
I can sage your house if you want. But these two topics that, Cynthia wanted to make a poll about, and we did. We made a poll online.
In our social media accounts.
Yeah, in our social media accounts. We got fast replies.
It didn't amuse me. I'm sorry. It didn't amaze me. I'm so sorry. That people
amuse you too.
Yeah, for sure. I was amused that some of these peoples were like messaging me their stories. I'm like, no, I am not ready for all that.
No quiero ir.
Mm-hmm. I have my own input into all that, but a lot of people responded really fast. They were ready for what was coming.
Yeah,
it's like miraron like the light at the end of the tunnel. They're like, it's my time to shine.
When you told me the two topics that we already had in mind, and I was like, dang girl, you want to go in on the Lord's Day.
Yeah, so before we let you guys know, the ones that don't have us in our social media accounts, what the topic is about, I do want to tell you guys that we already have a list of topics that we're going to be talking about, and this was one of the top ones. But we want to ask you guys and see what you guys want to hear, your input into all this, and of course, this is for you guys. So anything to keep you guys engaged.
For sure, we want to keep you guys connected as much as we can. So, we did a little poll. We kind of knew that everyone was gonna.
Oh, we knew
everyone was gonna go towards that topic. But dang, like I'm drinking water because no me quiero alterar. Mi mamá me dice que ya digo muchas malas palabras, que me tengo que portar bien porque mal ya no. So I'm like, all right, like maybe in caliente to the south side. And I was like, all right, sister,
let's record.
Con todo, vámonos.
Okay. Tell us, what are we going to be talking about?
Okay, so first let's say the two topics that we were thinking about was either when do you know the relationship is donezo, or the famous topic that todo mundo quería oír. Actually, I actually wanted to talk about this, and I know you did too as well, sister. Having someone toxic in your life as a family member, as a friend, and most importantly, as a partner, relationship wise, your lover, a lover, romantic wise. ¿Verdad?
I'm getting ready to use these keys.
Should we put... But yeah, like honestly, this topic is very sensitive to a lot of people that went through some shit in 2020. Not necessarily just romantic wise, but with your friendships, with your family members and stuff. So let's get to it, Cynthia.
Yeah. So what is the topic?
The topic is, ¿eres tóxico, sí o no? ¿Te gusta la mala vida, sí or no?
Yeah. So I mean, and toxic could be seen a lot of ways. I know that the most famous way that became a trend in 2020 was la tóxica y el tóxico, and it's just I want to leave it in 2020, but of course here we are in 2021 bringing it up again.
And you know what, hermana, like I want to just do a little definition of what a toxic person is according to the internet. So being toxic, we're going to define it as someone who is abusive, unsupportive, or unhealthy emotionally, physically, and brings you down more than up.
Yes.
Dang.
So I'm 100% sure everybody has a toxic person in their life.
For sure.
By choice or by not.
Yeah. And we can start by saying that I think, honestly, we've been toxic in our lives, either as a friend, as a lover, and as a family member. But I think that now that we've gone through our experiences, we know what not to be anymore.
Yeah. So I for sure have been a toxic partner before. I'm going to just say it bluntly.
Dang, girl.
Because I know a lot of people are watching and I need to address that. Okay. And I'm not proud of it, but I think it's made me who I am today too, in now my relationship as a sister, as a friend, and as a wife.
Is that right?
Let's call my husband.
Girl, call your husband. No, but honestly, yeah. We are older. I'm 27. I don't know if you want to say your age.
I'm 29. I'm 31.
All right, we'll say with that. But ya maduramos poquito. We went through some things, that que nos prendió el foco, and we're like, man, I don't want to be like that. I'm complaining about someone being like that. Why do I want to be like that?
Yeah, so if you're not looking to have that in your life, why be that person?
Exactly. So let's go into having a toxic family member.
Yeah, and not only, it could go a lot of ways. It could be a sibling, or it could be una tía, un tío.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not by choice, but
like a prima, primo.
Yeah. And it's not by choice, but it's your way of responding to that negativity, that toxic, unhealthy relationship with that person that, says the end of the story.
Yeah. For sure. I have a lot of family members that I've spoken up to about certain things that I didn't think was right for them to do to me or to my family. And honestly, we separated ways and whatever, but now that I'm older, I do want to rekindle with some of them, because at the time, yes, they offended me, they hurt me, they made me feel some type of way about my family, and I'm very overprotected about my family. So if I blocked you, just know that at that time you did something to benefit you, and it didn't work with me. And now that I'm older, I'm willing to rekindle with you. If you want to have a conversation with me, I'm down. But I'm not blocking no more people. Thank you, hermana, for telling me not to block no more people, because I have a lot of people blocked.
Well, I saw your list. That's where my thing was, where I told you I'm like, stop blocking people, because I saw your list and I was like, Dios mío, what's happening?
Es que at the time, I was younger and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to block you. Like, you did something to benefit you and you didn't care about my feelings. I'm going to do that. And that applies to every type of toxic relationship. But now that I'm older, I'm not going to block you unless you really, really went there. You're going to stay there. But now that I'm older, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to just kind of rekindle if we can. And if you want to too, because if you don't want to fuck with me, I respect that. But please know that at the time, you did make me feel some type of way, and the person that I am now, I don't want to make you feel that type of way that, I don't want to make you feel sad, mad, offended, disrespected. I think the highlight word is disrespected. So if you see me reaching out, know that I'm a better person now.
You mean it.
I really do mean it. I really do want to just rekindle things with you, and just see where life takes us from now on.
Okay, so are you saying a toxic person can change and you're willing to give them a second chance?
Damn, hermana. If it's been years, partnerships or relationships or family members, it wasn't grave, I'm ready to fuck with you again.
Okay.
But if you disrespected me to the point where I'm just like, damn, you for real, te valió madre completamente, please stay where you are.
So in a way, every time you see that person and it brings you back memories, then there's no going back. You're gonna stay away from that person.
Yeah, I wish you well, because I'm genuinely that person that I nunca te voy a decir el mal, pero cada vez que me mires te vas a acordar de lo que me hiciste para tu beneficio. Damn. I'm gonna write a book.
Do you want a shot or something?
No, I'm drinking water, bro, because ese subject me altera and I cannot.
So you talked about the family toxic traits. I for sure have my intake in the friendship toxic ways. I'm gonna go in.
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Tengo miedo. Tengo mucho miedo.
So we are going to call this person Panchita.
All right.
Okay, so Panchita and I were friends for a really, really, really long time. And I just got to a point where I didn't see her giving me the same type of energy that I was releasing out. If you know me, you know that I am a positive person.
But
I'm never gonna give you the negative side of my story before I give you the positive. I'm always smiling. I'm always happy.
let me interrupt you there. I want to thank you because honestly, like you gave me a lot of input to be better person. So now that I do want to rekindle with these people, I know we had a conversation, and you did tell me to like stop blocking people, and like just kind of give them another chance. So thank you, hermana.
Sure.
Go ahead, do your thing.
So that's my thing. It's just I'm always trying to help everybody. I'm trying in my little head. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please in the comments, please address it. But what I get from everybody, I'm always happy. I'm always trying to make people laugh. I'm always trying to help. So this person, Panchita, she wasn't giving me the same energy back, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that it hurt me, but it's just like I saw where I stood with that person, and it's just like I started seeing like maybe that person is toxic for me because the person is only reaching out to me when I'm needed, not when it's like good for me too, or when I would be like, hey, like I need you right now.
So that person only reach out to you when it's beneficial for them?
Yeah.
Damn.
So that was already a red flag. But I started seeing more red flags down the way where it's just like I thought I was your close friend, and you're not giving me my space as my close friend. And it's just like any little thing that I would do, I would message that person like, oh, hey, I learned how to jump today. This is my thing.
So you would cater to that person and you weren't receiving the same back.
Yeah. So, and in my head, I was still justifying it. I was like, oh, she's busy. She has work. She's a mom. She has, a whole relationship. And I was justifying it to the point where I was like, wait, I have that too. I have a job. I have kids. I have a husband.
Te cayó el 20.
Yeah. And it's just like I'm going to cut ties with you. And I love her and her family. And I'm not going to wish them bad at all. Like good vibes for sure for them. But I'm looking at them now from the back end. It's just like, que les vaya bien, que Dios los bendiga. If they ever do need anything, I'm still here.
Oh, I know you are.
Yeah. But I'm not stressing to keep the friendship alive, stressing to keep the basically, the friendship there, basically. Because it's just like, no, she was toxic in her own way, not in a horrible way, like, oh my God, no de tener amigos. No, not in that way. But it's just, she was toxic where it's just like maybe she didn't wish well for me, because I would share with her my accomplishments, my goals, my new projects, my new ideas, and I was receiving oh, qué bueno, que te vaya bien.
Like just cut it off.
Yeah, it wasn't like no input, no sincere, like I really want you to do well in life.
I read something about like if you stop texting your friends, see how
many will text back.
How many will text back?
Yeah,
that's some shit though. For real.
For sure. So that was my thing. Like I was always on call. Like, oh, me pasó esto, and I'm like, I'm there. I'm at your house. Maybe not at your house, but maybe like, oh yeah, you need me. I'm here. My house is here. Come over, or let's go drink, or let's go talk, and whatever. And I wasn't receiving that back. So I took that as she's toxic for me in my stage of my life. I'm gonna cut ties with you. I don't want to associate with you anymore because of that. Because it's just like you are being a toxic friend because I'm not receiving the same energy that I'm giving off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know you, hermana, personally. The people that do know my sister, she's very giving. She's always there, and I mean, I love that about you. You're like honestly the best friend that you could be.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. But yes, I know who you're talking about. And I think you got tired. Yeah. And people get tired of being there y nada. Like you put in so much work to be a friend. And you know what? Here's my support. But you're not getting the support back, then I'm gonna step the fuck back.
Yeah, no, because I think it's like, I mean, there's types of friendships. You have the friend that, you have in social media and it's always liking your comments, your pictures, your everything, your content. Yeah. But it's just you have that one or two friends that are there with you for life, and you expect a lot from them. Yeah. So that's where I was. That's like, okay, why is my next door neighbor giving me more support than my closest friend?
Why is a stranger supporting me more than a friend that I've been knowing for years?
Yeah. So that's when I it hit me in my face, and it's like she's going through so much in her life that I'm here for her,
Panchita is.
But yeah.
Ay, Panchita. Pórtate bien.
So I'm here for Panchita, but Panchita's not here for me.
Facts.
Yeah, or Panchita's going through her own struggles in her own life, and she wants to deal with it alone because no me ha de mirar igual.
And I know how you mentioned that, you know, a lot of things happen, like you're busy, you have life happening at once, you know, kids involved, marriage or whatever. But that's really true what people say, like you make time for what you want to make time for.
Yeah.
You were making your time for your friend, being supportive, blah, 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 you know, engaging in conversation, checking up on them, and you weren't receiving the same thing back. Then, you know, se te prendió el 20, you're like, you know what, I'm overdoing it. Yeah. When do I stop?
Yeah, and it's just to the point where I was just like, is it me? Am I doing too much? Is it me that is at fault? And once I cut that relationship, I saw that it wasn't me because everybody else kept on going with their own life. Everything was the same. So that's when you realize it's like, no, it wasn't me. It was the other person. And there's other people that reflect on that too. They're like, oh, you know, that I saw this person and she avoided me or this and this and that. So it was an all around thing that I felt that person was a toxic friend. So it was best for me to cut ties.
I feel like you can only do so much until you're like, you know what, like, ¿para qué seguirle, you know, moviendo si no quieren que le mueva?
Right.
And I feel like that person, which I know who you're talking about, Panchita, you know, was also living her best friend with other friends. And you're like, damn, like, I'm not included yet. I'm always asking, ¿Cómo estás? Blah, 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 blah. How's this? How's that? And it's just like, what am I doing wrong as a friend, right?
No, that was the main part where I was like, okay, I'm always a call away, but then the other friends that are now a call away aren't going to be there for you.
Right.
Because they're there for the good moments. They're there for the happy moments. They're there for the parties, the drinking, the going out. But what about when you need a babysitter? Do you have that person there?
Damn, girl.
No.
All right.
No, I'm saying like a serious thing. Not necessarily. I'm in quotes, you know.
No, yeah.
Not necessarily, but it's just like, is that person going to be there for your serious topics? Is that person going to be there when it's just like, oh, I'm having a discussion, like I'm in an argument with my significant other,
right?
Is that person going to be there for me?
Who's going to pull through?
Yeah, exactly.
Are those men going to pull through?
Exactly.
O nomás en la peda.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I started seeing. I'm not exposing anybody.
No.
I'm just saying.
I
I'm
think.
sharing my intake on the toxic friendship.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So it's just, if that person is no longer giving you what you need, not necessarily because of them. It's just whatever. We each have our own necessities. And if that person no te está dando lo que necesitas, you need to solve it on your own end and be like, okay, you know what? Like, there's no need for me to keep on pushing something that it's only being pushed on my end.
Damn it, man. I'm glad you let it out. I think there's something that it's very important to know, that being toxic is not necessarily like tu novia, tu novio. También son tus amigos. Y como dijiste, like, cuando te tora la carreta, like, who's gonna be there? ¿Tus amigos en la peda?
Yeah.
O tus amigos que, you know, te saben las buenas y las malas and are there for everything. And I honestly, like, I've been grateful a lot that I have my friends that shown me that they're there for the good and the bad. But also, like, if I've ever been a toxic friend that I don't hit you up or, you know, works both ends, like, damn, like, my bad. I'm sorry. Like, if I fucked up, like, I'll say that. I'll speak up. And I feel like even if you would have gotten that, you would have been like, you know what? That person, Conchita, would have been like, damn, like, she realized that you were always there. The good, the bad, checking up on them. Y todavía no se les prendió el foco. And that's not your bad. Yeah. That's their bad.
Yeah. So that's exactly why I wanted to bring out this topic. I mean, it was both of us actually.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring out this topic because 2020 brought Toxico and Toxica so popular.
Oh. Girl, no.
Yeah.
Me pongas, porque me pongo nerviosa.
It was always highlighted as la novia y el novio, el esposo y la esposa, and it's more than that. It's a lot more than that.
Yes.
And it's just it's being at inner peace, knowing that you don't have somebody toxic like that in your life. So
Amen. I actually want to go ahead and we had a lot of requests to be on the call. Thank you guys for replying back to our social media and just wanted to be part of this. Our first caller is going to be a close friend of mine. I've been knowing her for 10 years. And this person, we've talked about this topic before, entre la plebada and stuff. And she was like, yes, like I'm down. So we're going to go ahead and call her and just have her perspective about what being toxic, having a toxic person in your life is like, or anything she wants to share about her experiences.
Dun, 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 dun. Maybe she could talk about the relationship side.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, love.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, love. Thank you for answering. Hey, you are live on our podcast. Today's topic is having toxic people in your life. So I know that we had our little talks here and there about it, pero I just wanted to have your little input about it. So go ahead, girl.
Let me say hi too.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey, Maria, how are you?
Good. I just want to start off by saying congratulations, both of you. I know you guys are doing great. The show is going to be a success, and I'm so proud of you ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you, amiga.
And what a scandalous topic.
Or no ass.
So you have something to say?
Well, where do I start? No, I do have to say one of the things about toxic family, toxic relationship, toxic friendship is you don't know you're in that toxic environment until you're out of it, or until it's like till the very end that you're like, what am I doing with myself, or what am I doing with these type of people? That it's kind of scary because you're like, oh my God, all this time has passed and I realize these are toxic people in my life.
Yes, I mean, totally. I don't know if you want to go into like the more the relationship side or the friendship side or the family side. But
you let me know because I have toxic for everything.
Tienes tiempo.
So we're gonna do a part 2.
I know, part 2 coming up.
So what about, let's go a little bit, Cynthia just finished talking about having toxic friends. So do you have any input about that?
Yes, it's with friendships is really hard. I'm pretty sure, we've talked about, how friendships, they go from being like, those friends that you always talk to those friends that you slowly start noticing things that maybe other people tell you. I've noticed this, that other people told me like, hey, this friend may not be good for you because, they do these type of characteristics. But I don't notice that. I wouldn't have noticed that because it's like when they're with me, it's like one type of personality. And then when they're with somebody else, it's like a different dynamic, a different person. And you're just like, what is going on? Like, who is this person? Like, is this person really being real with me? Or is this person like only being real when it's just myself and them? Or is the real side like the side that they show to other people, which is the hard part? And I think, I know I talked to Diana about this, but breaking up a friendship is going through like a real breakup, like girlfriend, boyfriend breakup, that it's hard and it takes time because, especially if you have many years of friendship, it's a hard pill to swallow because it's like all the memories, all the, conversations, all the trust, it has to like slowly like, it just goes away, which is very hard.
I agree with you 100%. It's like, show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are. But at the time, you want to just genuinely think they're there for me. They're going to support me even if we've been there for years. Pero como todo, you have to maintain it. Yeah. You have 100%, to keep up with it.
And I always say, gracias a Dios por los amigos que tengo, por los amigos que me quitó, for, the people that are in my life, because everyone shows you a lesson. It may be a good lesson, a bad lesson, but everybody was there in your life for a reason. And that even goes back to, relationship, like, in relationships, like, every person, every significant other that was at the time, they were there for a reason. They either taught you a lesson, they taught you something. So it's always there, but, Dios te quita lo que no necesitas. Amen. I always said that.
For sure.
So we had to change.
And that goes.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that goes also with the family. I know with the family is hard. I mean, I'm from Jalisco. I'm very tight knit family, but I've had to cut a few families out because of the same reason that they're very, very, very toxic, and that was not good for myself. And it's just like uno está mejor solito que mal acompañado.
Yeah. So. Coming from a Hispanic family, they really always teach us to respect our family. And it's so hard because it's like sometimes our parents, ignore the fact that they do have toxic traits, and they're like, oh, así es tu tío, así es tu tía, or tu prima, and you need to like just learn that, you know, you keep it on edge with them. But no, we are allowed to cut them off.
Exactly, or the famous es tu tío, los tienes que respetar. But then you think about it, why am I have to respect somebody that they don't show the same respect to me?
Exactly.
You know, or they just like, I have family. I'm pretty sure you, obviously you ladies know, I got married, you know, in July during the pandemic. A lot of people said it was bad. A lot of people said, you know, do it. We had our personal reasons for doing it. But the people that you would have thought like they would have been there for us were the people that pretty much they were talking shit. They were talking to me. They were saying, oh, see, mija, keep going, you know, do your wedding and everything. But behind my back, they were telling all these other family members like, oh, no, she's being ungrateful. Why is she doing that? And it's like, well, what side is the truth, you know? And that was our own family. So, you know, it's hard, pero it has to be done. And I think we're in a new generation where, you know, we don't tolerate a lot of toxic people, which is very good because, you know, coming from a strict Hispanic side, they still talk to those family members que, aunque les caigan gordas, no, tenemos que invitar a tu tía, tenemos que invitar a tu tío. So, you know, it's something, it's different with us.
Yeah, for sure. We could relate for sure.
Yeah. So you agree, Maria? It's okay to cut people off, even if it's family, even if it's
yes.
blood.
Even if it's blood. Sometimes, I've always said it, sometimes blood people hurt you more than, you know, friends, or sometimes friends are there with you more than even family.
Yeah,
Facts.
for sure.
Facts. Amiga, thank you so much for your input. I know you're live right here. Any shout outs to anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Jalisco, not to my Jalisco people.
¡Arriba Jalisco! ¡No te rajes!
Se le olvidó el marido. ¿Qué pasó?
I know.
Girl, you
No,
got a
shout out to my
husband.
hubby. Shout out to my hubby. He's right here hearing me. He's like, you better not say anything about me. No, just shout out to all the listeners that you guys have. Like, I know you guys are going to do great. I'm so excited. I'm so honored to be part of this show now. I'm like, oh my God, I got butterflies. I feel all nervous.
Now that we're here, thank you so much, Maria. You honestly like the first one to support us and share everything. And you were thought about being in the podcast, and I'm glad that you're here now.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. And like, we've known each other for almost 10 years. I know Cyntia también since the beginning. So it's like, we've gone through a share stories that we have together. So I'm so glad for you girls. And like, we've grown up together. We're grown ups now.
Yeah, so we're going to have you on the podcast as a regular now.
Yes, I'm going to be a regular.
Because we could talk for hours.
Yeah,
I remember
girl.
the other time at my house.
Literally,
And it's funny because we could talk, all three of us could talk, like we've known each other for years.
Yeah, for sure.
thank you so much, Maria.
No,
for your
thank you
input.
so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Aw, girl, we definitely can talk to her for days.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I remember once I just pulled up to your house and she was already here. Like, girl, that's my friend.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
She came for one thing and we stayed talking for like 3 hours.
No, but I'm glad she said that because honestly, like, when you know to cut the cord, just cut it. Yeah. And I think because we're so used to like, no, pero es tu tía, es tu tío, es tu prima, es algo. Pero si ellos te están faltando respeto, you have to like step up. And I think for a long time, I was just like, no. And then I finally was like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to do it. And I'm sorry if I offended you, but you offended me and you didn't see anything wrong. So let me show you how it feels.
Yeah, for sure.
But not like that because like I believe in karma and stuff, but like, you know.
To an extent.
Yeah. So I think we're going to just move on into the where we were talking about, you know, how toxic people, being a toxica and toxico in 2020 became so trendy. And honestly, like, the people that know me, that I don't like that word. I dislike it. I don't hate things, but toxica, toxico, it's really close to I don't fuck
your
with
heart?
it. Yeah. I don't fuck with it.
So it became a trendy thing. It was a funny thing, but there's people that actually take it serious. It's like, I do have a toxico, I do have a toxica, and it's just it was a joke, you know, between everybody, like, oh, vas a ir con la tóxica, viniste con el tóxico. But it's just like, no, it's more than that. It's, you really don't want and need toxic people in your life.
But let me ask you this, hermana. En tus ojos, ya que estás casada, que, you know, you've been through your share or whatever, what is your definition, your own definition, about what a toxic partner is?
I think a toxic partner is somebody that is unhealthy for you.
Yeah.
That is not keeping you peace anymore. Somebody that is messing with your mental health.
Honestly, yes. And I take mental health very seriously. Honestly, now that I'm in my late 20s, if you're not bringing me peace, friendship wise, in la familia, or romantic wise, please stay away from me. Please, please stay the fuck away from me.
No, yeah, and it's just like we joke so much about toxico and toxica, but it's so unhealthy to have a toxico and a toxica, because sometimes they make you seem where it's like it's my fault that I'm toxic. They're reacting because of what I did.
Right.
And it's not always like that. It's not always like that. Whether they're making you feel uncomfortable by saying a certain thing, acting a certain way, it's just that's toxic. You should be able to freely be your own person.
Amen. And I feel like just a little bit of my past relationships, I have been toxic too. And I think more like for me is when I say like I want to be a little bit in control of the relationship, kind of just shift it to where I want it to be, the potential it has it to be. But no, it shouldn't be just one person. It should be both of them and create something healthy for both of us. So when someone starts telling me, ¿a qué horas vas a llegar? ¿A dónde vas a salir? ¿Con quién vas a salir? Oh, ¿qué te vas a poner? No te pongas esto, blah, 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 blah. No, please say no. Yeah. Because it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be like controlling in una cárcel when you can't be yourself, because I don't think that's healthy for either or.
Yeah. And in my case too, I was a toxic partner once too, and I just
should I put this again?
So it wasn't by choice. It was just like I didn't know better. I think I was so immature, and not that I grew up yet, but
we grow ya crecimos.
But it's just like I feel like I was toxic because in my own little head, that was the only way. Controlling a person was my only way to have a badass relationship.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that at all.
Yeah.
It was the other way around. It was only making it worse. Mm-hmm. It was only giving that other person the freedom to come and be toxic with me. So we were literally toxic together.
Yeah.
To the point where it was like, let me check your phone. Let me check who you're going out with. Let me check your location. And it became so toxic where it's just, even when I wasn't doing anything wrong, I was acting like I was doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm with this friend. Maybe he doesn't like her. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable with her.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know what she's telling me. And it's just, now I need to like exit out this conversation, or, like get this person away from me, because I don't know how my partner is going to react to this person being my friend.
Like you kind of just don't want to tell them so they don't feel some type of way, but there's no need to hide it if you're not doing anything wrong. I mean, a lot of things with being toxic is just like, or making toxic being okay. It's like the trust. If you don't have trust in a relationship, you shouldn't be in the relationship. I learned the hard way. But I genuinely trusted my partner because lo que yo hacía no quería que me lo hicieran a mí, ¿verdad? Pero ya muy su pedo si me lo hacían. Pero yo genuinely, now that I'm older, I'm just like, I wouldn't do A, B, and C again because I know how that feels like, you know?
So, and my question to you is, so if you were in a toxic relationship,
yes,
would you ever actually be like, no, he's being toxic for a good cause?
Yes. I feel like it was just like, oh, he's being jealous. That's cute. Oh, like, me está celando or whatever. Like, oh, that's cute. Like, he still cares about me. Keep the relationship spicy. No, girl, run.
Yeah. Take your shoes off so you don't trip over anything.
That gut feeling that you have.
It's true.
It's true. But it's all about a learning experience. Yeah. I'm happy that I went through what I went through. I'm happy that at some point, honestly, maybe I was toxic. And I learned, my bad. I learned what not to do. But that's what it is. That's what life is. You have to go through it and be like, damn, I'm never doing that again. I'm never putting myself in that position to que me digan, oh, eres tóxica. But I didn't see that I was being toxic. I thought you were being toxic because we got used to this toxicity.
Yeah.
No,
that's not.
Amiga, no, amigo, no, amiga.
No, it's not healthy at all. And it's just like, I think friends have a lot to do with it too.
What do you mean?
Because it's a learning behavior. It's like if your friend comes to you and it's like, yo le reviso su celular.
Yes.
Yo le digo a qué horas tiene que llegar a la casa. Then you in your own head is like, oh, if it's working for her, it's gonna work for me. And then you just feed off into this toxic relationship. Because I mean, obviously you have close friends and they're gonna tell you everything, and you know, but up to a point.
Of course.
So then maybe it's not working for her. Maybe her relationship is going to shit, but they're coming to you
like that.
But maybe they're coming to you and they're painting this beautiful picture, and then you're learning
that it's not going to shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So then you're gonna be toxic yourself, and it's just like
true.
No,
toxic. What is it? Misery loves company.
for sure.
You know, like just past relationships. I thought I wasn't being toxic. Maybe I was. And I thought my partner at the time wasn't being toxic because I saw the potential that they had and what they were giving me. And I'm like, pues, ¿qué más quiero? But then those red flags of being toxic, I'm like,
Were you iffy about it, or did you not see them as red flags?
No, I was iffy about it. Like, thank you God for giving me a brain and a big ass heart. But I was just like, that doesn't make sense. But I'm like, oh, we've been in the relationship for a long time. They wouldn't do that to me.
Right.
Maybe they mean well. Maybe they're just trying to like cater to me or like, you know, cuidarme. No, you were trying to keep me in a bubble.
Yeah.
I wanted to get out of the bubble, and hopefully you went with me and, you know, healthy relationships, promote healthy relationships at all times. But at the time, se acostumbra uno a ver las cosas que te dicen, te hacen slight arguments, slight comments. You're just like, oh, he's mad. They're mad or whatever. No, they're being toxic, and you need to realize they're toxic, but you love them so much, you're going to stay.
Yeah.
You know, and God forbid, like any, like, you know, you got physical, because that's just like, for sure.
That was in my head right now.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But you don't have to get physical to be toxic. It's como te hablan and how they make you feel and how they fuck up with your head.
Yeah, literally your inner peace.
Exactly.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like you're hearing it from other people telling you, you know what, you're in a toxic relationship, or not necessarily use the word toxic, but they'll give you like, hey, this person's not doing this for you. Why isn't that person, you know, doing this more for you? And it's just in your head, you find excuses, but at the end of the day, you know what's right and what's wrong.
Like, for instance, like, when they make you feel bad and it's like not even your fault, just like whatever. I think for my birthday, you did like a big dumbass arreglo de flores. Like,
That's me.
like, I mean, it was beautiful. And at the time, the person was like, how can I beat that? And then I felt bad that you gave me flowers. I'm like, yo, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Like, you can beat that doing something else.
Or doing something your own way.
Yeah, and I'm like, ¿les tiro? ¿Qué pedo?
It's not, it wasn't literally about like bringing you una troca llena de flores, but it was just like,
No, you can do that.
maybe no tenían troca. So it's not necessarily about that. It's just, it's la intención es la que cuenta. And it was, you felt bad, but you shouldn't have.
Yeah, and I felt bad. I'm like, oh my God, like, did like I not deserve this? And when you start thinking shit like that, like, I don't deserve this, but I deserve what the bare minimum that they're giving me. Like, what the fuck? Make it make sense.
No.
So at that time, like, yeah, I was just like, oh, like, I like, what the fuck? Do I feel bad because someone went out of their way to give me something on my birthday? Mm-hmm. Or like, should I take your bare minimum? Like, what the fuck? No, like,
No.
I know what I deserve. Now I do.
Yeah.
Now at 27, I know what I deserve, and I can print you out a PDF of what the fuck I want and what I don't want.
Yeah.
And then we can align together. And if the things that you want that I want matches up, then let's do that. But honestly, like, if you're not like bringing me peace or anything else, please just stop.
Yeah.
And that applies to everything. And please tell me that when I'm being toxic, or because there's toxic comments or whatever, que a veces you're like, se te prende el foco, you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Why did I say that?
I was wrong for saying that.
I was wrong. And when you say I was wrong and you're admitting that you did something wrong, que te pasaste, that's when you're like, damn, like, you recognize being toxic like al 100.
Yeah. And it's so sad to say, but it's just like it needs to hit rock bottom for some people to actually snap out of that. And it's sad, but good thing that you discovered you know, what you were worth, and you discovered what you needed out of this relationship. And if it wasn't,
Should I bring the tissues that I just put away?
Los
Cynthia had tissues here, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why do we need tissues?
So I'm a crier. I cried
and two girls crying
and I
yesterday.
kept my box of tissue here. Y ella la aventó allá. She said, no, we don't need it. I'm like, you might not need it, but I
We might. No, I get it. Thank you, Hermana. I really appreciate that. And you know, we had some talks about it, and you know, the people that know me personally, I went through it. But that only made me stronger.
Yeah,
It made me
and
stronger.
realize what you're worth for sure. Like I said.
Thank you. But honestly, like, just please check yourself. Check yourself if you're being toxic, and if you're still in a relationship now and you have some toxic traits, you can still fix it.
Yeah.
You can still fix it together.
Yeah.
Because it takes two.
Yeah, and fix it in a way where it's gonna better your relationship. Like we said, you know, there is toxic traits that make you a stronger, better couple. But if it's not providing anything good for the relationship, you need to reevaluate, you know, your whole life.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. For real though, like, for real, check yourself. Like, ponte las pilas, and if like te pasaste de mamoncita, de
Yeah.
mamon, just be like, damn, you know, I fucked up.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to say that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I fucked up. How do we fix this?
Yeah.
When you know that you're getting out of a toxic relationship or whatever, partnership, friendship, whatever, like, when you own up to it and be like, you know what, me hiciste sentir A, B, and C, and I fucked up. How do we move forward from that?
Yeah.
How do we fix it?
Yeah, if indeed it needs to get fixed, because sometimes it's like God sending you signals like exit, move on, block this person, but not necessarily block,
Okay.
but like in life, block them.
I'm glad you said that. No, I'm not gonna
I
block you.
agree. I agree.
No, if I blocked you in 2020, you deserved it. Te pasaste.
My mom has a thing about
I know. I'm sorry. No, but honestly, like, just recognize when you're being toxic, and man, just please leave toxica, being the TikTok, the memes, or whatever in 2020. Yeah, like, no more.
Yeah, no more. We should become, I don't know, some trendsetters. Let's start another word. Let's start healthy.
Yes, healthy.
Peaceful.
Yes, healthy, peaceful. Hashtag healthy, hashtag peaceful. Like, tag me, like, for real. Porque being toxic or being a toxic person is not cute.
No, it's a domino effect too. It's like if you're a toxic friend, then you're gonna be teaching me to be a toxic friend, and then I'm gonna pass on and be another, you know, toxic with another person, and it's just this cycle needs to end.
Y todos vamos a valer madre.
Yeah, basically.
Yo no quiero valer madre. Ya no más.
Basically. So, and no, and like life is so short. It's so
Oh,
beautiful
amen,
that
sister.
we need to appreciate and you know, really take in the good things, appreciate the good, and focus on that.
And being better.
Yeah.
If you're stuck in a hole right now, I feel you. I got you. Let's just focus on getting out of the hole. Don't sink more people in your hole. Let's find people that are gonna get you out of the hole.
Yeah, and it's okay to have found a friend, a family member, a partner that are toxic and are not good for you, but you have to learn how to get out of that too.
Yeah.
You have to learn that that person isn't bringing anything healthy into yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe they are to the next person,
Right.
but to you, they're not giving you anything good. So learn to get out of that.
It's not beneficial.
Yeah.
It's not gonna benefit you. It's just gonna hurt you more, and you need to accept it. You need to realize that it's up to you. Hasta cuando le pongas
The stop.
the stop.
Yeah. And you know what bothers me is like they say that girls are the most toxic, pero no, también hay guys.
Yep. And thank you for bringing that up. I actually, I do have a friend, a male friend, that's gonna be part of this. That also messages me. Shout out to that person. That wanted to be included because we wanted a male perspective.
Yeah.
On this topic because, yeah, the girls are toxic. Blah 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 blah. What about the guys?
Yeah.
Ustedes también tienen sus cositas.
Yeah.
Y sus trapitos.
And it's like I think they exit out by saying you're toxica, not me.
Right. You made me toxico,
Yeah.
or you whatever. You made me toxica. It takes two.
Yeah, for sure.
Igual. So let's call my dear friend. This friend is actually we just rekindled, and I'm really excited to have him on the call because when we were younger in our high school days, we would talk for hours about some deep shit. I think because we were cancers. I don't know. A ver, let's call. Oh, I'm nervous.
Why?
Because because I haven't spoken to this person in a long time, but this person has a dear place in my heart for me, and I'm glad. I think todo pasa por algo, but we just recently rekindled, and I'm really excited about it because it was I think it's all meant to be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So let's call again.
And he actually spent a lot of time with us.
Yeah, you too. Hey,
Hello?
I'm so sorry. I thought I was calling you. Hey, Scrump, how are you?
Hey, Scrum.
Hello. Hey, I'm good. Yeah, I was like, oh no, she didn't let me talking already. She was like, no, it's okay. We don't need him for this episode.
No,
I'm sorry.
for
I was
sure.
just telling Cynthia, I was like, I'm kind of nervous because I haven't spoken to you in such a long time. But when we were younger, we talked so much.
I mean, it's almost all we did. Like I posted about it yesterday, or I don't know when this episode's coming now, but I posted about it, and yeah, that's all we did for I don't know, all the time that I just didn't want to be at home, and you were working late at night, and I was like, all right, well, I'll get some food out of it, maybe. But yeah, no, we haven't talked in a while, and it's great. I'm always down to chat, and it's not like I've forgotten about you. So
No, I haven't heard about you either. I'm glad that we rekindled. So you are on our podcast, you are live, and when we talked about which topic we were going to go with, a lot of people chose, just toxic friends, relationships, and family. We're just moving towards more like the
relationship part of it.
The relationship part of it. So we wanted for sure a male perspective. So thank you so much for being part of this. So the mic is yours.
No, yeah, I'm glad that you asked me for this. Like it's funny enough, I've rekindled with Vivian, friend of the show, friend of both of our shows.
Yes.
Maybe like a year or two ago now. I don't even remember how much time has passed. Maybe like 2 years. But it was after I got out of like a very toxic relationship. It was not a fun time in my life, and I think it showed how much I grew, because like when you and I were last kind of like talking, I was also coming out of a pretty toxic relationship, and then I was like, I don't know, 20 or some shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know how to deal with it, much like most kids at that age, which is like a thing, like I know, like I have a lot of younger people that work with me at work, and whenever they're all like depressed and shit, it's like, listen, just chill, because I'm gonna, it's myself and other people are gonna tell you 100 things, and you're not gonna listen to any of it by virtue of the fact that you're 20 and you know everything, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how we all were.
Yeah.
But no, I think with age it comes a little bit of experience. I mean, you either learn how to deal with it, or unfortunately, I'm sure we all know people who are like stuck in these very toxic relationships where they're not allowed to talk to friends of the opposite sex, or they need to be home at a certain time because they don't want their partner to get mad at them or something like that. There's a lot of that goes on. But no, like I think I've become better at dealing with it. Like I was able to walk away from a very abusive relationship, mentally, emotionally, physically. It was bad all around for me, and I definitely was like, all right, well, fuck. I should probably listen to all my friends and family that are kind of telling me these things, and like do something about it, Because like I learned, like I've learned throughout time, you can't control anyone's actions. You can't control what anyone does. As much as you try, as much as you wish, you can't. But you can control how you react to those things.
Period.
So,
yes.
right? Yeah, like you can control if someone's being toxic in your life, and it doesn't have to be a partner, it can be family or friends or whatever the case may be. Like odds are you won't change that person.
Yeah.
As much as you want, you'd be like, fuck, I wish like my uncle was not such a piece of shit, or like I really wish this friend, like I really wish this friend would stop doing, whatever it is that they're doing, acting out in whatever way.
Scrump,
but you can.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm
Scrump,
just rambling at this point.
So have you ever seen yourself as the toxic friend, family member, or the person in the relationship, or you've always thrown the ball at the other person and been like, no, they were toxic? Are you able to admit that?
Oh, no. I've definitely been able to recognize like, oh, I was the toxic one, Like I've more so in like the past year or so has been so it was 2018 when I got out of that one relationship, and I was able to kind of go back and like look at things, and it was like, oh no, I was definitely the toxic one at times, as well as sometimes being the victim, which I mean, and not a lot of people are able to like identify like, oh no, I was the toxic one. And since then, I've tried to reach out and at least like apologize to people,
Good.
you know, like Lucy, you know who Lucy is. We won't say her real name.
We're not saying real names. No, no.
We're not saying real. We're not saying
But I
real
know
names.
who that is. Yes.
You know exactly who that is. Yeah, there was a few months, many months ago back, where I was like, man, at 20 years old, I was pretty toxic in that relationship, and tried to reach out and apologize. And that led to being made fun of on Twitter, which was like, hey, totally cool. I said my piece. I acknowledged what I did wrong. I said what I had to say. I put it out into the ether. Yeah, that's that, you know?
Props to you.
Yeah, props to you. I'm proud of for you.
And
you did that.
I get not a lot of people are like that. You know, we all have those friends who are just like, I don't get why everything's wrong. And it's like, really? Yeah, it's like you don't understand. It's just you don't get it. But again, I think that also comes with experiences, with learning. Like there's that like thing about like, oh, if someone says they have a crazy ex, they're probably the crazy one.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, mate, like I don't know the situation. What is the situation?
Exactly.
And we are always inclined to believe our friends and our family more when they're like, can you believe like what my boyfriend did? And it's like, oh wow, and they really just did that for no reason. Like that's kind of fucked up, right?
I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I like to think that now that I'm older and I've learned more, it's easier for me to, even if you're like talking to someone, you can kind of tell that there's like some red flags. I'm a lot better at like,
Identifying them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As opposed to before, where it's like, no, it's true love. It's gonna work out. It'll be fine.
Let's be miserable together.
Yeah, like, oh no, it's okay. It works out in all the movies, so it'll work out this
He'll
time.
change. She'll change.
I love that you're in the call, because it's like, of course, we're giving our perspective on this, but now it's like the male perspective, and it's just, you guys suffer as much as we do. You know, you guys don't have it easy both ways.
And
basically.
you know what? I have like a lot of male friends too who like don't like to talk about their feelings. Yeah. And I'm very big on like, no, like it's okay, it's okay to not be okay and be a man. Like you're not any less of a man. You're not like, a wuss or anything like that because you have feelings. Because like how many, especially with us being like Mexican, there's a lot of Mexican machismo men who like, they don't have feelings and they're just tough and they don't cry,
right?
Unless their like parents die or something. And it's just like, no, like
you're not
guys
supposed to feel that way.
Exactly. And it's a generational thing, so we can't go and force our fathers to be more open and expressive about their feelings because they grew up. That was just the way it was.
Yeah. What they knew.
Exactly. But this like newer generation, I'd like to think that it is more, hey, it's okay to talk about your feelings.
Thank
you. Because it is.
And you are the exception, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you're teaching the male figures in your life that it's okay to talk about your feelings. It's okay to get away from toxicity. Sorry.
Yeah, to go through it. Yeah, it's okay to talk about how you feel and how maybe you fucked up and just learn from that and go from there.
Yeah, because I mean that's the only way that anything really gets accomplished. It's like talking about things because, like even me with my dad, I have it easy to where like he's pretty easy to talk to, and I don't ever have like a worry of like, oh, he's gonna judge me if I tell him what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Like maybe, but again, I've always been able to talk to him, and I get it. There's so many, like, friends that I have, again, Mexicans, who are just like, oh, I would never tell my dad that I
Yeah.
that I cried watching this X-Men movie because it reminded me of him.
Oh my God, which
You
one?
know, like I remember watching the movie Logan, the X-Men movie Logan. Wolverine dies. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it. And it's like 3 a.m, and I send my dad this long text about like, "Bah, Wolverine died, and I love you," and da da da. And he like, my mom calls me the next day, and she's like, "Estás bien?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?"
¿Qué te pasó?
She's like, because you fucking texted your dad at like 3 a.m,
Yeah.
saying that you're crying because Wolverine died, and I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, I don't know, that was fucked up, right, Ma? You know, but
No, that's
yeah,
that's so nice of you.
but I mean, it is that, you know, like it's also right now with like the coronavirus and everything, and like unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are dying, and they have friends and family that don't get to, you know, that last, oh, I love you, and this is how I feel about you, you know.
So you agree? Male figures are scared to say what they feel.
They're toxic.
Yeah, you know, I'm like that with my nephews. I tell them all the time that I love them,
Yes.
and you know, like that's how my dad is with them, my brother's with them, you know, their father, luckily that's how he is with them. And like, again, if there might be someone listening now who's from a different generation who's like, no, fuck that. Like, you know, I tell my son I love him on his birthday or Christmas, and that's that. And hey, you can't control how people are. It's just, if you're, you know, one of those machismo dudes out there, like, it's okay to feel. It's okay to have feelings.
Amen.
You know,
Amen.
you're not any less of a man for having a heart, for being human.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, and I really hope that, you know, more people like that speak up and start like practicing that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, it's one of those things. It's not easy to get everyone to kind of think and feel that way, but I think as a society, we're doing pretty good at like expressing ourselves and moving towards like that, you know, getting away from that old like machismo generation and just like that old train of thought. Yeah, exactly. You know, I cry at like every fucking Marvel movie.
Me too.
You know?
Oh my God,
so,
yes.
Yeah, so it's not, you know,
you're a Cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm a Cancer.
Yeah, like I openly
This is why we had the deep ass conversations when we were in high school. We could just fucking rant for days.
Yeah.
Scrump, honestly, thank you so much for being in our call. Like, honestly, you have always some good talks, and you know, you advice. Advice. And even though you sometimes, you know, you like you said, you've been the toxic person, you admitted to it, and you're just trying to move forward. And I think that takes a lot coming from a male perspective, that sometimes, you know, you want to just be like, yeah, I was the one that fucked up, and what do I do to fix it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, everyone likes to think that they do nothing wrong, but sometimes you just gotta kind of step back and realize that you were the toxic one, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being in our podcast. And now that you're live, can you please give a shout out to your podcast?
Oh yeah.
I have my own podcast. I work for Pro Wrestling Tees, so my podcast, of course, is the PWT Cast, the official podcast of Pro Wrestling Tees. New episodes every Monday. We really don't talk much wrestling or T-shirts. You know, despite it being the Pro Wrestling Tees podcast, it's kind of just me and my co-host talking about like movies, TV, comics, just, I don't know, wherever we're in the mood to talk about. But new episodes drop every Monday. And if you want to follow us on social media, we're at PWTcast on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, that's about it. I got the plug for that.
Thank you, Scrump. We're going to link you down below.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Hey, and Vivian has been on an episode now because for, you know, any of you guys who went to Lakeview with us who are listening, Vivian is a huge wrestling fan now.
Yes,
so
she is. Yes,
there's that. But all right, thanks guys for having me on. You know, anytime you guys need me, I'll be here.
Thank you, Scrump.
Thank you, Scrump.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Aww. I love that he wants more males to be like, I love you.
Yeah.
I feel like this, you know, express themselves, because, you know, like, that's right. Like for the Hispanic community, being a machista, it's all you know.
And I think that's where toxic traits come from.
Yes.
Because you're not allowed to be soft. You're not allowed to have feelings. And it's like, let me be the opposite so that this person doesn't step all over me.
Right. Exactly. And honestly, like, I'm glad that we had that. So yeah, Edwina, I'm really glad that we had those two talks today. You know, from a female perspective about, you know, what being a toxic lover, friend, or relationship wise is, and then we had our male perspective too, which is important because it works both ways.
Yeah, and I'm glad a lot of our listeners are going to be able to relate to that and be, like Scrump said, you know, it's okay to say I love you. It's okay to show emotions and feelings, and maybe they'll identify as being toxic and able to change now.
Yeah, honestly, like I want to promote being healthy in 2021. Like, please, like, leave anything that is not bringing you peace. As much as you love that person, your friend, your family member, your partner, si no te está haciendo feliz, si no te trae paz mentalmente, físicamente, por favor, just walk away.
Yeah, and not necessarily you're going to stop loving or respecting the person, but we could learn how to love and respect them from far away.
Far away. Like, for real, like far. Like, out of space. No, but honestly, like, just stop being toxic. And recognize when you are being toxic and put a stop, because that's where you stop, you know, the trait.
Yeah.
The toxic trait going.
The domino effect, like I said.
The domino effects, yeah. Like, admit you're wrong. Apologize. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to admit, you know what, I fucked up.
No, and I don't think it's ever late to apologize too. So
I'm learning.
Yeah, so it's okay. And you could apologize your own way. You could just stand in front of a mirror and be like, you know what, I did this. And if you're not able to go to that person, if you don't want to connect with that person, just for your inner peace,
yeah,
just, you know what, I'm sorry, I did this and this and this.
Yes.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Or like little by little, just kind of like come back to their life and then kind of show them that, you know, you're not that person anymore. A call, a text, a DM.
Yeah, like Scrump said, he actually reached out to this person that was toxic.
Yeah.
And he was at peace. Mm-hmm. And that person ended up making a comment in Twitter, making fun of him.
Right.
So he's at peace now.
Yeah. Es de todo. Like, uno da de su parte. And, you know, you did what you had to do. And you're at peace knowing that you did that for yourself. If the other person doesn't want to, like, reciprocate that and acknowledge that, then that's it.
Yeah,
you did your part.
Yeah, it's fine. This one was a tough one.
I'm glad I drink water. Imagine me drunk, dude, talking about toxic people. My mom would have blocked me.
No, and it's just we don't realize that there's a lot of things involved in being toxic. So
yeah, honestly, and then
good thing we brought it out.
I'm glad we brought it out. Admit when you're being toxic. Stop being toxic to people that actually love you and go hard for you. Like, that shit ain't cute. Stop talking about being toxic and wanting a toxica or toxico. That shit ain't cute.
Yeah, that's not cute at all.
Please just be healthy. Like, don't you guys just want to be healthy?
Let's promote love.
For real, like just remember that life is short, like you were saying, and I just live healthy relationships, like in general, and just stop being toxic. Toxic is not gonna bring you anywhere or take you anywhere far, at least.
That's for sure.
Guys, thank you so much for listening and watching us. This subject is something that I'm glad that we talked about it now at the beginning of the year of 2021, because leave that shit in 2020.
Yeah, and moving forward, you know, you guys could recognize when you're being toxic or when somebody around you is being toxic, and you have 11 more months,
yes,
to exit that.
And every day is a learning experience, and every day you have a new 24 hours to just grow and recognize when you fucked up, and you can just make it better as soon as you recognize that you messed up.
Yeah, you get a brand new day the next day to start from zero.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and until next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.